Okay, so good evening everyone and welcome to today's live trading session for gold and crypto market. So today I will take you deep into what's going on in our gold market and as well as crypto and also other forex pairs. So let's begin. So right now I'm observing a gold chart and as I told you guys last stream, which was yesterday, I told you like gold would give us a good pullback, and yeah, it just happened, right? And it's going with our analysis, which is good sign. And if I told you guys, right, gold actually reacted from a heavy supply point of interest where sellers are more like buyer supply POI or point of interest is something like when price reaches to the particular zone, buyers they try to push the price upward direction, but they fail to do so, right? So sellers step in and they dump the market from this particular zone. So exactly this happened. And as we know, like gold has given us a pretty good impulsive wave, and now we'll be needing a good pullback to the downside, and that's what I'm aiming for. Okay, so right now, according to my analysis, gold is giving us a pullback and a bearish reaction. As you can see, lower high, lower low, lower high and lower lows. I guess gold might react from a support from this zone, which is also a psychological barrier. As you can see, 3400 to 3402, it might react from that. And also if I turn on the liquidity heat map, all those uh, liquidity imbalances or unfilled imbalances lying below us, and I'm sure market would fill those first to give us a good reaction to the upside. And maybe create a reaccumulation pattern and might give us a another big breakout to the upside. Let's see what happens. And right now I guess gold is trying as much to grab liquidity, and gold just broke above all the historic resistance, which is now turned into support, and buyers would be very much interested to buy at that particular zones. And gold is also in a safe haven demand, but also is in a global uncertainty. Gold reacted from this particular zone, as you can see, this particular zone, like 405 to 409. Let's look into low time. Okay, I see a particular demand zone from right here. I guess prices reacted from that, you know, this zone. Like buyers were interested in this zone and buyers pushed the prices higher. But right now we cannot confirm that buyers are still in control, right? I guess these buyers would be taken out. All their stop losses are lying below. I guess market would take those lows once again and creating more lower lows. Let's check into GBP USD, and GBP USD today we found a potential trade setup. Unfortunately I was unavailable at that time. Let me show you guys what was that. So as you know, these days go US dollar is very strong, right? So if oh, I'm sorry to say, right, as we know that US dollar is pretty weak, so GBP is taking control of the market and giving us a very good movement to the upside, and we are using that as an advantage to take long setups. So basically today we found a trade, right, exactly right here when price broke above you know specific resistance level. We know that as soon as a resistance level gets broken, it turns into a support, where again if price retests that zone, so market always wants to retest that specific level once it breaks. So market wants to test, like if buyers are still interested to buy at that particular level. So when market return to our specific zone right here, we need a confirmation in order to take a trade. And what are those confirmation? Those confirmation are like a liquidity sweep, recent low liquidity sweep right here, we can say liquidity sweep, and a good bullish engulfing candle to the upside. So we wait for a bullish engulfing candle. As soon as we see a bullish engulfing candle right here, we take a trade to the upside. But before taking that, we also look into some other factors, which is our ultra liquidity heat map. Like we see where the unfilled orders or unfilled lot of liquidity lying in the market. As we can see right here, if you guys can see my screen, there is a block right here which is high liquidity zone, and right here. So if I know if market gave a reaction like this and tested a resistance turned into support, I know that market would surely take those highs, because we know that right now US dollar is pretty weak, and we are also taking, so we are taking that advantage of it. And if you see this liquidity heat map, after sweeping this, you see lot of liquidity lying below. What we can say that there were lot of transaction in that market, lot of buyers were active in that specific level. So buyers, they try to push the price higher. So we know like there are a lot of active buyers right here. So we confirm that market would at least take those particular highs. So we target these highs, we take a trade, stop loss below this low, and target this highs or this highs, right? And we simply play it. So market took those highs and hit our TP. So this was a trade thesis, right? But actually I forgot to give this signal because I was actually unavailable. I was not at my home to share this trade setup, but no worries, we'll find more next time. And meanwhile GBP JPY, as we know, JPY gave us a good breakout. We see trend line breakout, price reacted from this particular supply zone, or you can see say resistance level, right? So price swept all those liquidity lying above those highs, which are people's stop losses and all that pending orders. It swept all of those, and market gave us a reaction to the downside, right? And we see pretty good support turned into resistance, and this support which turned into resistance gave us a reaction to once again price retested the zone. So market, as I told you guys, right? So after a particular zone gets broken, so market wants to test that zone if buyers and sellers are still interested to take those, right? So market retested this zone, gave us a reaction, and once again we know that market give us a good upside momentum from this particular minor demand zone, and price has reached near supply. and gave us a once again gave us a bearish reaction from there. So today I give this live signal to the in our Telegram group, right, to take a short. As we can see, lot of liquidity lying below, but looks like market is giving once again giving us a bullish reaction. But I'm sure market would take those lows, and finally market would come into our heavy demand zone right here. Now it's just a matter of time to give us a good reaction to the downside. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Wait, let me call up my. I have a call right now. Wait. Oh, I forgot to update that we are live actually, and gold just give us a huge reaction to the downside. Wow, beautiful. Just as we needed to see. Let me post that I'm live. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wow. What is gold doing actually? Taking all those liquidity, it seems. Beautiful. And it broke below this psychological barrier. Now we need to see if it sustains that particular zone, right? Wow. So market is just gonna take all those liquidity and come into our heavy demand zone. So let's patiently wait. So we'll not have any FOMO right now, right? So if my stream, yeah, it's running. Just as I told you guys, right? So I told you guys, right? Early buyers stepped in the market, right? From a very weak demand zone, and we can see right below the demand zone, we see lot of liquidity lying. So markets see that as an opportunity to take them all out together. So it took those lows, and market is still going. I guess some fundamental news was released. Okay, due to tariff, there was a tariff deal between US and Japan. So for that reason, dollar is strong, and meanwhile other pairs are just like that. So let's focus in gold right now, right? Gold has finally reached into a key demand area. Wow. Okay, price just stepped into a demand zone. So market is highly volatile right now, as you can see. 405. Hmm. Okay, if price invalid this zone, market will go much lower. It might go below that level too. Okay, market is giving a reaction from this particular demand zone, as you can see. So buyers are trying to push prices higher, right? Because the market is so volatile right now. They're trying to push the prices higher at this rate. But let's see if it sustains that particular level, giving a strong reaction, it seems. Market just gave us a huge dump. It broke below our psychological support barrier too. They didn't expected that. I was expecting that market would come into this level and give us a reaction from there, but looks like market is taking all the liquidity below, grabbing as much as liquidity as possible. Wow. Okay. GBP USD still at this price level, nothing much interesting. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is actually fighting over a historic resistance, as you can see. For a long period of time, this resistance turned into support, and once again, resistance is fighting over it. So price retested the zone again, so bounce to the downside. Again, once again, price has reached to the zone and giving us a bearish reaction from there. But we need confirmations like a bearish engulfing candle in order to take trade in the trade low, trade short, and we can see a lot of liquidity lying below. So I guess market would take those lows and come into our once again demand zone. But if I talk about a simple market structure, right now Bitcoin is just consolidating, going sideways. You see, we cannot confirm that markets are either creating higher highs and higher lows, or lower highs or lower lows. So we cannot say. See, market is just giving us a sideways reaction, right? We don't want to see that. We need a clear direction. But for scalping, it is a good. For scalping, it is a good, like, market condition for scalpers. The market is sideways. Okay, giving us a good reaction. Okay, good reaction actually. But still, market is in a safe haven demand, right? So market is leaving a lot of liquidity above, so above too. So I'm very interested to taking a long setup. But for that, we need to see some confirmations in order to take a buy setup. Okay, there is still liquidity lying below, so maybe, in my opinion, market would come. So early buyers, buyers would be interested to take trades from here as prices reached into our key area, which is our demand zone, where buyers are active in that particular point of interest. But as you can look closer in our higher time frame chart, we see that below the demand zone we see a lot of liquidity lying. So market might see that as an opportunity to take those lows too, but right now we are unsure about it. But right now market is giving a good reaction to the upside, no doubt. The support has turned into a resistance actually once again. Right, so if price retest this particular 3400 zone, it might give us a reaction to the downside. So GBP USD is still there. I think, as you can see, very low liquidity lying above us, so probably market won't fill those. First it need to take some, give us a good pullback, or give us a reaccumulation downside. But there's still some high liquidity lying above us right here, this particular block. And BTC is giving a reaction to downside from this particular strong resistance level, but clearly no buying setup. Okay, GBP USD. Oh, GBP JPY is giving a reaction to downside. Price is mitigated once again, mitigated to this particular supply zone and giving us a bearish reaction. So I want to see market just fall right through, because there's a lot of pending orders lying below, and even this block you can see a lot of very high liquidity, patiently waiting for that. As market would seek this high liquidity zone as an opportunity to take those lows too, but right now buyers are fighting back. They're in the scene right now. See, sellers are, what they're doing is they're trying to push price more lower, but they're failing to do so. Like buyers and sellers are right now giving a good fight actually. Or maybe market might give a market can be a bearish sentiment for maybe few weeks, or this week maybe price can once again return to our um, old historic resistance turn into support, and maybe price may test that zone and once again give us a breakout, right? Because we are talking about a very higher time frame supply zone, right? So it's giving a reaction like that. And maybe this, according to me, this is not a good pullback actually, you know. It should create lower highs, lower lows, lower high, lower lows. But right now it gave a huge dump to the downside. It seems like market is hunting all the people's SLs or liquidity. But I'm for sure, we sure now we know that, right, market has given a reaction from a heavy supply zone. You can see this supply zone created a bearish leg, a good wave to the downside, right? An impulsive wave. So yeah, this is a good supply point of interest for sellers right there. Okay, very high liquidity lying below, so market would fill those lies, I guess, lows. Maybe market can take those lows right here. might take this particular low and give us a bearish leg to the upside. Yeah, that's the scene right now. Let's see. If I turn this particular indicator, so this is the volume profile actually. So volume profile is something like we can check where, like in the market, most transactions are happening, right? We know most transactions were happening right here, so we can say that yeah, in this particular zone, in this particular area, there were a lot of transaction, and yeah, it proved us right, right? See, this particular line, you see it, it shows that yeah, it's telling us that there's a lot of volume in this zone. So lot of transactions happening in that particular area, and you see market gave us a good reaction to the upside, very good impulsive. So we know like lot of like pending orders or liquidity lying here, so market all uh, took all those lows, took all those pending orders. Looks like sellers are still in control of the market, no clear sign for buyers. Buyers are still fighting back though. But even if you see like NY just closed at 8:30 and still there's a lot of volatility right now. Okay. Wow. What a dump. Looks like US dollar is very strong right now, and I can see BTC forming a good setup for us, targeting this lows right here, this particular low. Yup, giving us a reaction to the downside. It's a good setup, everybody. If anyone is interested to take a trade right now, I would suggest to take this Bitcoin trade right away. Buyers are really fighting back. Okay, lot of liquidity lying above. Wow. So let's patiently wait. Oops, what just happened? Okay, JPY is giving a reaction to the downside, which is a good sign. That's what I'm expecting to do so. Like if anyone wants to take trade in gold right now, I would suggest take a very small quantity, right? Like 0.01, like depends upon your lot size, right? I'm suggesting take a 0.01 lot or 0.02, and which will you maybe you have to hold that trade for a bit longer than usually you do so, cause we know like we're trading with the liquidity of the market, so you can see a lot of liquidity at this particular block, right? So I'm sure market would fill those orders, fill those zone. So you can take a small lot, or yeah, you can take a small lot and take a buy position and just wait for a trade to hit your take profit. You can set your take profit at this high, or it depends upon your situation, right? It's up to you basically how much longer, like how much patience you have and how much you want to run your trades. Let's look into BTC. Yeah, BTC is giving a reaction from here. If I look into EMA, it's all bearish right now. So let me just post this trade setup right here. Like if I turn on the heat map, I can see a lot of orders there. So I want market to target this lows right here. So let me just post this. Take a screenshot of the trade. Lot of liquidity lying below. What was that zone? 179. Oh wait, 581, right? Yeah, 581. Oops, 2 189. Wait, 189. Yes, sir. Market leaving us a lot of liquidity. Wow, chat. BTC is giving a good reaction. I don't think market uh, after taking those this particular block, I don't think market would fall much lower. It might I guess, to our demand zone and react from there. But if you see below, it's just very low liquidity present in the market until here, which is 3330. Above that, we see very low volume in the market. I don't think market would take those, because now market is in enough fuel, or you can see liquidity, to give us a very good reaction to the upside. But also you have to realize that gold um, is very dependent on fundamental. So this days the fundamental worked as a catalyst for us, for gold to reach in a safe haven demand, right? Because due to US dollar being weak. BTC is giving a good reaction. We just want that to follow through. Wow, nice, nice. Giving us a very good bearish engulfing candles right here. But what's gold doing? Okay, right now gold just made a demand zone liquidity sweep this low, right? It just did a sweep and giving us a reaction, bullish reaction. But it all depends upon if it sustains that, right? And what's surprising is that go yesterday we did an analysis. So as you guys know, I told everyone that market would give us a deep like pullback after giving us such a good move, and actually it happened like that. Wow, it just analysis lining up with the fundamentals, you know. And yeah, it feels great. Okay, giving us a solid reaction. Nice. So if price breaks above this highs and makes a body close in this 15-minute time frame, I'm sure for today or from tomorrow market would give us a bullish reaction to the upside. If if this 15-minute candle, bullish candle, does a sweep and the body is close below this um, uh, previous bullish engulfing bearish engulfing candle, we just know that this bullish candle actually sweep all those liquidity above, and once again market would give us a bearish reaction to the downside. So as you know, like US dollar is pretty strong right now, and right now GBP USD might fall, might happen due to dollar being strong. Let's see what happens. Okay, gold is doing a good reaction. All those buyers right here. Wait, I've got a call. Yeah, sorry for that. Sorry guys, actually my friend called like about the trade updates. Oh, okay, this is not a good sign actually. 15 minutes just did a candle sweep, as you can see. I wanted to see a candle close above this previous high, but still, I have hopes that market would still take those highs right here. See, as I guys told you, right after 15 minutes candle sweep, it always gives a bearish reaction, and this is what's happening. Let's see what happens. But there's still a lot of liquidity above, and market has taken enough liquidity to give a reaction to the upside. So I want to see a good upside movement. So buyers are fighting back, as you can see, but no clear sign of taking long setup. Meanwhile, GBP USD just like that, going sideways. No clear breakout. Looks like buyers are stepping in. This 15-minute candle was bearish for a while, but now it has turned bullish. But let's see if it sustains that. Oh, strong bullish candle. No other trade setups I can find. Just gold, just Bitcoin right now. Buyers are fighting in this demand zone, but till now I'm not finding any good setup to take a long. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to end our stream now. So that's it for today, guys. And yeah, today's been very interesting session and giving and gold showing us what volatility truly is. And I'm very surprised to see gold falling at this level. But yeah, we'll update any if I find any trade updates, any trade alerts, I will post it in our Telegram group. And if you haven't joined our Telegram group till now, the link is in our description. Go check it out, and yeah, join our Telegram group for further information and notices into this market. Yeah, see you.